I just finished reading Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and let me tell you, this book isn't just great, it's life-changing. If you truly understand his story and his mindset, you won't be the same person after this. Think about it. How does a 300-pound depressed guy with zero discipline transform into an ultra-marathon runner, a Navy SEAL, a world record holder for over 4,000 pull-ups, and the hardest motherfucker on this planet? He didn't just change his body, he rewired his mind, and that's why he's one of the most hardcore, unstoppable human beings alive. In my opinion, he is the definition of mental toughness and discipline. If you are someone who constantly procrastinates, gets easily offended by problems, or feel weak-minded, then this book is a wake-up call. If you are here to simply finish a book review and move on, then this isn't for you. But if you want real-life takeaways, practical mindset shifts, and a breakdown that will make you rethink how you handle life problems in your 20s, then stick around. If you miss any part, especially the last one, you might regret it. And now here's the deal. The book has 11 chapters, and I'm not going to break them down one by one like a boring summary. Instead, I'm going to simplify everything into 7 powerful principles. That unforgettable lessons that will stay in your mind forever. Think of them as not just chapters, but life strategies. These aren't just theories or stories. These are battle-tested mental tactics that can change the way you handle problems, struggles, and setbacks without fear or hesitation. I know a lot of you are not from that rich lifestyle background, who has everything with ease, like a big lawn, having 2 or 3 cars, or a freedom to go anywhere, or in short, financial stability, or an easy life. And just like you, David Goggins was born into poverty, abuse, and racism too. His father was violent, and he grew up in a rough environment. He struggled with obesity, low self-esteem, and learning disabilities. By all odds, he should have failed in life, but he refused to let his past define him and began his journey towards mental toughness. In life, you have 2 choices. Either you accept your past and be where you are, or you use those traumas and incidents as a fuel to enhance yourself to something else. When I was around 13 and 14, I used to blame my father and family members that you don't give me this and that and so many other things. I always used to compare my things with others, that they have phones, watches, tablets, etc. etc. And I don't. I used to think that if I will get that, I will become something great or extremely fulfilled or happy, which was an idiot thing to do. And if I'm being honest, every kid dreamed of those things that their friends and relatives have. Kid mentality in short. But when I finally realized that those things won't matter, your effort does. You may get those things which you are lacking right now. Can be a new computer, an iPhone, tablet, new shoes, basketball or anything. But ask yourself, if you can't able to do what you want to do with what you don't have, then you will not do it if you have it either. And as quick as you adapt this, it will be very good for you. If your circumstances don't match with your work, then it's time to work and make it happen. Don't sit and relax. You can't change circumstances by blaming others. You have to take steps towards it. What if I tell you that you are an idiot? You are fat, you are skinny, you are poor, you are ugly, you are short, you are black, you are this and that. Then some of you might get offended that how dare you can say this to me? I'm going to kill you. But genuinely think for a second. Why do you get offended? Why? If you are fat, then people will not going to tell you are skinny and vice versa. Because it is what it is. And only one thing that you can do is to change it. See, I was hell skinny. Weak in knowledge, don't know about my capabilities when I was 14 and stays weak till 18. But when I realized I had to change it, I have to make my physique dominated and make my mind more sharp. And I've learned this at early age, thanks to David Goggins. At 23, David Goggins was fat, unmotivated and stuck in a dead-end job. Weighted nearly 300 pounds and felt like a loser. Then one day, he looked in the mirror and decided to face the brutal truth. He was failing. Instead of blaming circumstances, he took radical responsibility and committed to changing his life. He makes changes to himself, qualified for Navy SEAL, lose weight in just 3 months, goes through more than 3 hell weeks. And if you don't know about hell week, then Google it. You'll be stunned. And just like that, I'm still working on it. Because I know I'm not that perfect yet. It is going to take more than decades. Most of the people blame others for their problems instead of taking charge on it. Stop telling people that I'm not fat if you are fat. If someone is telling you you are weak, then you can be weak. Or if someone is telling you that you are skinny, then might be skinny. Just admit it and work on it. Learn to accept reality and don't run from it. When I used to go to run when I was 15, my mind used to break my damn limits and to finish quick. Most of you took a part in a competition, right? then how many of you go with that mindset that I will compete with him at my best? I will give whatever I have. But if I ask you, how many of you go with that mindset that I will going to dominate my competitors? See, there is a big difference between your mindset and their mindset. They are not just some daydreamer. They actually play to dominate. There is a line in my mind right now, which I have heard from Sir Welvisbig. He explains that there are two kinds of athletes. One who plays to compete and one who plays to dominate. And domination is something beyond power and confidence. You can't dominate unless you hold a strong mindset. And that's what David Goggins had. To become a Navy SEAL, Goggins had to lose 100 pounds in 3 months. It seemed impossible, but he pushed his limits daily, training harder than ever before. Despite failing multiple times, he kept going. This chapter highlights his grit, discipline, and the power of pushing past mental barriers. He not just surpasses its limits, but even break it. One of the Goggins' key mindset is taking souls, outworking, outlasting, and mentally destroying the competition, which is called as domination. He believed in turning pain into fuel and proving doubters wrong by pushing himself beyond their expectations. You might say, oh, what's the whole point? I also work hard on my work, on training, but you are not getting the main thing, and that's to outwork. If somebody told you you can't run faster, go for practice, break your PR. If someone told you that you can't be good at academics, then go out there and outperform everyone and be the dominant one. If someone tells you you can never do this and that, then go out there, learn, experience, fail, and stand tall again. Make that shit happen. See, history is filled with examples who have done great things and achieved greatness. And those guys were not just normal thinkers. They defy odds and break their limits just by developing a controlled and rigid mindset. They are not just normal human beings. They surpass their own limits and they become undefinable. And you know what's the main reason behind their great achievement? A strong mindset. You can't change their mentality even if you desperately want to. And to survive the toughest challenge, Goggins built an armor mind. A mindset so strong that no amount of pain, failure, or negativity could break him. He embraced suffering instead of running from it. He knows his mind capability and used it like a machine. He didn't just keep breaking his PR, but tackled toughest challenges ever known to human. That made him the hardest motherfucker of this planet. You should have to watch David Goggins' edits, and after that you will get it. And you can estimate his brain potential by this incident. So he took part in a 24-hour race and there were his opponents who has teams with them. It's like competing against teams. And one of the competitors states that the format of the race is like relay. Like you run a mile, I run a mile, and whatever teams run most amount of mile wins the race. You'll be surprised. He was all alone. This made me feel like a one versus whole lobby. See, you can't even imagine his aura or attitude or confidence, whatever you can state at that moment. See, David Goggins' definition of success is that success isn't about medals, trophies, or recognitions. It's about becoming the hardest and toughest version of yourself. Even after breaking records, he kept pushing himself because he wasn't chasing rewards, he was chasing personal greatness. All he do is to check his human capabilities. Most of you were not even scrapped your level of potential yet, that how far you can go and what you can achieve, because you don't know what I am capable of. You might lack in academics or in karate or in race or any exams because you are chasing little goals. Make it a successive stamp for yourself. It's like stepping stone. I remember when Goggins was going for pull-up records. He failed 2 times. Although he has several races under his belt, but he didn't keep experiencing other things. He had done more than 2,000 pull-ups in both trials. He might just sit and relax. At that time, he has enough money to stay calm and enjoy the life. But he didn't. His appetite of being hardest motherfucker on planet Earth is greater than Mount Everest and deeper than Mariana Trench. And that's what today's generation lack, because you are weak and actually it's your fault. And right now I want you to write on a blank paper, make the list of things that you want to achieve in this year. Keep it secret and make it in reality. The most powerful weapon isn't physical strength, it's the mind. Goggins explained how to develop mental resilience, push past self-doubt, and use adversity to become stronger. See, when I was 15, you know what I used to think about YouTubers or great personality? That they are talented. They are born genius. They have something that I don't have, and always demean myself by this thought until or unless I heard about this guy. Although I have learned from several other people who are doing great work in their profession, who inspires me to do bold things because they have done and achieved things from ground, and one of them is David Goggins. Goggins wasn't born special. Just like you and me, 9 months, same food and environment. He built himself through discipline, hard hard work and being consistent. He proves that talent means nothing without relentless efforts and a refusal to quit. And by doing all of this, he didn't even realize that he himself became an example of it. Now, many of you will not good at maths or science or in sports like cricket or football. Although you want to pursue career in those fields, some of you might want to be an athlete, a champion, but you always cut yourself from doing that. You think, oh, they are talented. I'm nothing. I don't have Nike shoes or an iPhone 16 or a track to run. But if I'm being very honest with you, then I would say you don't want to do that with your full heart. Because if you really want it, you won't making excuses about those things. You will be going for run or making content or practicing when no one is watching and arranging resources that requires for your work. Because you were clear at that moment that if I want it, I have to work for it. Let me give you a simple example which really clear your brain fog, and you have to answer this. But if I told you that you practice cricket for 5 years and on the 6th year you have to compete it in a football match, then what would be your answer? Note it down and do deep think about it, because that will tell you what you do, you become. How many of you took participate in something and win? I think most of you will, and most of you will not, and there is nothing wrong with that. But if I ask you what do you do the day after when you actually win or lose, let me tell you, most of you will take rest. Oh, I have won a prize now, I have achieved the greatness, oh, I am genius, isn't it? See, it's easy to win than keep performing with same zeal the other day. There are only few people who actually keep on pace after winning the hardest battle of their life. Their mentality was like, it's not enough. I have just covered one step. I have more opportunities in front of my eyes. I can't take rest. I have to keep grinding. And here comes the David Goggins. After becoming a Navy SEAL, Goggins didn't settle. He pushed himself to become the best among the best, constantly finding the new challenges like ultra marathon, extreme endurance races, and settling world records. And I can say this with a full confidence. He might be a little old now, but whatever time zone he was in right now, he must be grinding. He wasn't settled down yet, but that's only tip of the iceberg. You think he wins all the time. He might be lucky. Then let's talk about his attempts of failure. He has this mentality that failure is not the end, it's a lesson. Goggins failed countless times in his life. He failed 3 times while breaking the pull-up records. He fails the test. He fails in a marathon so many times too. But every failure made him stronger and smarter. Instead of avoiding failure, he used it as a fuel for growth. His mindset was like, oh, I have done 2500 pull-ups last time, I can do more than that. That's what you should be like. Whenever I do some push-ups or an exercise, I push myself to failure regularly, either at gym or at home. See, it's not about the exercise or the result you got from that, or you have to show people that I can do this. No, it's all about the mindset you develop. And if you have ever able to build that mindset, then sure, you'll be one step ahead from the crowd. This chapter is my personal favorite, and I'm telling you, after this video, it will be yours too. I can bet that. How many of you have watched the Marvel What If series? How many of you have heard about quantum world or parallel universe theories? Okay, let's make it more easy. What if you gave it your all? Think about Thomas Edison. He failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. What if he had quit at 9,999? The world would still be in darkness. Or take Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball team. What if he had believed he wasn't good enough and never picked up a ball again? We wouldn't have the greatest basketball player of all time. Now think about your life. What if you stopped making excuses? What if instead of doubting yourself, you went all in? What if you become undefinable? The difference between extraordinary people and average people isn't talent. It's the willingness to keep going when most people quit. So ask yourself, what if you gave it everything you had? What could your life look like a year from now? Because the truth is, the only thing stopping you is you. That what if is a nightmare for so many people. They focus on negative side rather than on positive side. Because they think they can't do this or that before even trying. I use a split method for myself. And if you like it, then you can do that too. Which can help you to eliminate fear of being eliminated. Before telling you that, I want to ask you a question. If you are on a racetrack competing with one guy who is also a best runner like you, then what would be the chance of you winning? Logically, it's 50-50, right? Either you win or lose. What most people do is they think only about, oh, I will lose, he's better than me, I don't have the utility which he had. It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is you're winning. and you should be focusing on it. If I had 50% chance of winning this, then I will give it all. I remember a scene from Milkha Singh, one of my favorite movie, where Pakistan coach told Milkha Singh that it can be your last race, Milkha Singh, and he replied, I will perform like it then. It's a goosebump scene at that time. You have to be mentally prepared that if I had 15% chance, forget 15%. If I had 1% chance of doing this, then I will do it and give my 1000% in it. And I'm telling you, I have tried it personally in various situations of my life, and it worked like magic, and I want you to try this. And if you get the results, then I would love to hear the feedbacks in comments. Anyways, and that's what makes David Goggins different from any other fitness influencers or athletes. He was on what if I could pull this off track. When he was about to get recruitment in Navy SEAL, one of his recruiters said that you are a fat, black and an African American and you can't be eligible for Navy SEAL. David Goggins reviewed the stats. He finds out that 35 American Africans were making through Navy SEAL. What if I could be 36th? And that made him history's elite performer, hardest human of all time, the David Goggins. Goggins' message for all of us to stop living small and start pushing on limits. A kid full of traumas and insecurity, a fat African American, dream of becoming a Navy SEAL, hadn't done great things till he was 23. But when he realized that change should take place, then he defies the odds and make it personal. And day after day, he keeps grinding and shaping his body and future with his own. He evolved himself from a normal guy to a beast. He can choose a life of comfort, but he refuses. Most of you have the resources to make your dreams come true, but you don't know how to make it work. Most of you have so much potential inside yourself that you can't even imagine. I would say find something for your work. Do something bold. Try different things. Make something out of your energy and value. Stop worrying about what will happen. You only got one life. Give it all. Thanks for your valuable time and we will meet soon.